All right. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? My name is Joyce, product marketer here at Manychat. We've got some exciting things to go over today. If you guys want to just give everybody a couple of minutes to join, I'd love to see where you guys are from in the chat. Hello from Texas, Cassandra. We've got a couple from Texas. Hello. Hello from Myanmar. Hello from Brazil. All right, so we'll get started in just a couple of minutes. We're just giving everybody some time to hop right on. Hello, hi Greece, hi Mexico. Hello. All right, so it looks like we've got about 40 people on. I'm gonna give it maybe another 30 seconds and then I'm just gonna get started here. Hello, LA. All right, so we don't have too much time here and I wanna maximize some of this time, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. Today's agenda, I do have a new beta feature that I want to demo for you guys, so some exciting things. And then if you guys are new to the office hours, today's structure is I'm just gonna be demoing this new feature and then we'll go into a live Q&A section. Please use the Q&A function in the Zoom chat to ask your questions so that I can see them, and Cassandra here can also manage them. So Cassandra's also on the line here. She's our community manager. So if you guys are new to this, I know we've flashed some of these stats before, but these are just not going to go too much into detail here, but these are just some general stats on Instagram, right? We've got 1 billion monthly active users, 500 million people use Instagram. Basically, you guys should be on Instagram automation. So I'm just gonna go through some of these here. And again, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the Q&A chat and I will address them. Okay, and just a few other stats around Instagram messaging here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go right into the new feature here. So what we have for you guys today is our comments automation, also known as comments growth tool for you guys familiar with Manychat. So what comments automation is you can automatically reply to any comments on any of your Instagram posts. So if you guys are familiar with the comments growth tool on Manychat, this is a little bit different and the functionality is different on the Instagram side. So what our team has done is, we wanted to get this out to you guys soon because people have been asking for it. It's a really exciting feature, but we are releasing this in a couple phases. So we do have a first bite of the comments automation available for you guys. Oops, excuse me. Here, and in this first bite, you're able to automate replies to comments on your posts. So this can apply to, one or all of your Instagram posts. You can use keyword inclusion or exclusion on your automation. And for this first bite, we are sending one message per contact per comment on a post. So because this is the first bite, and you guys, there'll be a lot of improvements coming here. But right now, this feature is set up to fire one automated message per per comment to your post. So the workaround for this, if you guys don't want this to fire off for multiple messages, is to set up a keyword if you guys are familiar with it. Coming soon in phase 2. So these are the things that we're going to be adding to this feature. If you guys are familiar with the comments growth tool in Messenger, we also have auto reply, which is automatically replying to the comment in your post, and then also auto liking the comment. So those are things that we are working on, and those are things that are going to be coming to Manychat. So I'll pause there. I don't see any questions in the chat, but feel free to just ask away if you have anything, and I'll address those later. Then I'm just going to go right into the product to show you guys what, or actually how this feature works. So if you guys can see here, I've got, my Manychat account set up, and I've got our demo account here, which is our Fletcher Goods store. So to set up a comments reply, you can either go to automation flow and start a new flow, or you can go to your growth tools where the comments automation lives. So I'm just going to go through a new flow so I can just show you guys what it looks like. If you do this, we'll just do a CGT test here. Open that up and you'll get dropped into Flow Builder. We're going to open up a Instagram message here, connect that there. Right, and this is where you're going to be adding your trigger. So if you go here and click add trigger, you'll see the Instagram panel here. And you'll see that on top of keywords, you'll now see Instagram comments. So you're going to add this as your trigger, which is your starting step here. So this tells you that in your starting step, when somebody comments on your Instagram post, it's going to fire off this message. So that's, the foundation of all of your flows in Flow Builder. So we'll just set this up to fire off for a specific post. And once you connect your Instagram account, once you select the post, it'll pull up all of your Instagram posts. So you can pick and choose which post that this feature is going to be enabled on. So we'll just go and pick this first one here. And I'm not going to include any keywords here, but really you can exclude or include keywords here if you choose to do so. So you're going to add that trigger there. Excuse me. I'm just going to save that. From here, we'll just fire off a message. So, hi. So we'll just do something simple like that so I can show you really fast. And what you're going to want to make sure you do for this is, add the comment reply. And I'm just going to go ahead and push publish, and I'll show you what that looks like on the site here. So we'll find our post. If you look on the right-hand side, you'll see my phone here. I'm going to do a test post. And we'll see if that fires off. And it did not. Okay, give me 1 second. You know what? I'm sorry about that, guys. We needed to enable this. So make sure you guys turn this toggle on in order to activate the comments trigger. So sorry about that. So we'll try again. Alrighty, there you go. So that is the post that we just set up here. Now, there are a couple of cool things that you can do with this, right? You can really build out your conversation to, gather additional contact info. So say, for example, you're using, a comments post for a product launch, for example, and you want people to comment below to get added into the flow. So, we can do things like add a quick reply button, or how about we change this message here? Hi. Let's do that. And then we'll add a quick reply button here, which you can connect to your next step. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to ask them if they're interested. If they click yes, we're going to ask them for their email. So here to collect, email, we can use something called user input, which is asking them something specific here. So we'll just keep it simple here. Ask them for their email. We'll set the reply type to collect email. And on our side, when the customer enters that email, and we're going to gather that and automatically save that to our system fields. So we're going to go ahead and publish that, and I'll show you what this now looks like. Oh, you know what? There it goes. So I'm going to test here. Okay, there we got the flow. I'm going to go ahead and click yes, and now our your user input should pop up here, right? So this is the message that we set up, and I'll go ahead and put my email in there. There you go. Now we should have that email stored into our data. And really, you guys are growing your email list here and qualifying your leads as they come through the comments growth tool. I do want to open this up to any questions about the comments growth tool. Let me see here. Martin asks, is it true that the Insta channel will require its own subscription like the Messenger channel? In other words, the customer won't be billed based on the, so this is a billing question. So for billing here, I'm just gonna put this slide up here. So these are some of our frequently asked questions, and you might find answers to some of the questions here. But in regards to pricing, this is going to be the same pricing as Manychat Pro and Messenger. So it'll be billed on the total number of subscribed contacts. So subscribed contacts are, users that initiated any conversation with you or opted into one of your flows. Question from Stuart. Can you add an image to a flow? Yes, you can. So I can show you. You can add an image to a flow. So you'll see here in any of your image blocks here, you can add an image block here, and you can upload an image from your computer or also insert a URL that lives on a website. So this will be a dynamic URL. Question from Robin. Could you show the add email tool for Facebook Messenger? Is it the same? I'm sorry, I don't know if I completely understand that question, so I'm going to skip over until you clarify. Question from Martin. Do you plan to introduce cards? Yes, I believe that is something that is on the way. I don't have an answer for when that is going to come out, but yes, that is something that I believe is on the way. Okay, question from, okay, Robin, you just showed how to request an email address on Instagram. Is it the same for Facebook? So if your question is for Messenger, yes, you can use user reply in the same way. You can request either a phone number, an email, and have those saved to a system field. I hope that answers your question. Is Instagram Summit going to be launched before IG Summit? It will launch soon. Hopefully, yes. I cannot say an exact date, or we don't have an exact date yet, but we will let you know as soon as it is available, and it is coming soon. That is all I can share. Stuart, how many quick reply buttons can we use at one time? Good question. I believe it's 3, or I believe it's 3 or 5. Jonathan, I don't know if you know the exact answer. That's slipping my mind right now. Okay, any other questions about, does anybody want to see, any other features demoed here if there are no open questions? Oh, actually, I see a couple more. Let me see, from Filippo, I wanted to know, I also use a welcome message to my new followers. If they reply to my messages, will I be able to add them to my Manychat audience? So there is no welcome reply for Instagram automation, but we do have something called a default reply, which can fire off to anybody that sends you a message for the first time. When they message you or direct message you in Instagram and you have Instagram automation turned on, yes, they do become a subscribed contact and added to your Manychat audience. Okay. Any other questions around comments growth tool? Okay, from Anonymous. Hello, as a person working in healthcare sector, name information of people made in conversation in chatbot. I am sorry, I do not know the exact answer to that, but it is something that I can note for later.
And for those who are watching on YouTube, the full question was asking, for privacy and in terms of GDPR, is it possible to have information shared across Messenger and Instagram?
Okay, question from Rooney. If somebody becomes an IG subscriber, you're saying we can then message them in Messenger too, and does it open up the 24-hour window? No, it does not. So sorry, Cassandra, I'm losing some of the questions in the Q&A.
Yeah, so it's okay. I'll ask them verbally for you. So Raveen's question was, if someone becomes an Instagram subscriber, you're saying we can then message them in Messenger too? And does it open up the 24-hour window on both platforms?
Okay, thank you, Cassandra. Rooney, to answer your question, no. So it does not, if somebody becomes a subscribed contact on Instagram, it does not open up the Messenger window. They will have to opt in for Messenger as well.
Next question is from Sawyer. Can you send a message to anyone that messages your page, or do you have to comment with a keyword? And I think when they're saying page, they mean Instagram account, since we're speaking about Instagram today.
Okay, so to answer your question, if anybody messages or direct messages your Instagram account, you can, that does open up the window for you to communicate with them. It does not have to be just through the comments growth tool that I demoed. There are a lot of different ways. So if they message you through any of our other features like keywords, conversation starters, or through a story mention, any of those types of entries for where customers are initiating a conversation will open up that window for you.
Next question, and is actually been asked by a couple of people. Are links able to be sent? And if so, are we able to make buttons?
So right now, we are, the buttons that we have in Messenger, so that type of button is something that's coming. We do have something called a quick reply button, which are non-persistent buttons that disappear when a user types those. Those are available in Instagram, but you know, the Messenger buttons that you might be familiar with are not yet.
The
Sorry,
next question. Yeah, the next question is also as part of that. You had said that you could send photos, but can you also send video?
So today you can only send images in Instagram. Video is not supported.
Next question. Did you have any feature using swipe up?
So we do not have any features using swipe up today. To answer your question, it may be something that we come up, but today we do not.
Another question. I believe you've already asked or answered this, but it's in a little bit of a different form. So if someone engages on Instagram, does that also open the Facebook 24-hour window for Facebook Messenger?
No, it does not. So the Facebook Messenger window has to be opened through a Facebook initiated conversation or interaction. Same with Instagram.
Next question.
Separate. Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Next question from Daniel. If I use a welcome message to my new subscribers, would the welcome message be triggered when using the comments growth tool for those users that aren't subscribers yet? And Daniel, if you could confirm for us in the chat, if you mean by the default message, because Joyce, do we have a welcome message like we do in Facebook, or is that not the same?
So for Instagram, there is not a welcome message, not the same type of welcome message that you are used to in Messenger. If that's something you use, we have something called a default reply, which is an automated message that goes out to users that message you for the first time. So it kind of works like a welcome message.
All right, next question is from Steven. Have you been able to get an idea of how many back and forths people interact with before they tire of talking to a chatbot?
Good question that I don't have an exact answer to. I see Jonathan raising his hand though. I don't know if he has something to.
What's up, everyone? Just dropping in to say hello. I think this point was was discussed a lot in our beta participants. So like, how long should people really be talking? And the answer is it depends. If you have something juicy to offer, then people will exactly, it's Stuart says in the chat, it depends on the bot and the value that you bring. So you have something juicy to offer, the content is really engaging, then people will be willing to chat with your bot for 5+ minutes, right? But if your bot sucks and if your automation isn't really engaging, then it's not really, the people won't stick around. I think a general good rule of thumb is for the first flows that you're building, try and keep the interaction to around a minute, maybe 2 minutes max would be like my general rule of thumb. But again, test and test and test and see which works. Second point of advice is to think about where audiences are coming in from, right? If you're running an IG ad and so contacts or subscribers are coming in from ads, know that they're unfamiliar with your brand. They don't know who you are. The first time interacting with your IG kind of automation, they'll probably not want to stick around compared to a loyal customer who already follows your IG account, who's been with you for a while, probably more willing to talk with you over time. So the answer is, like a lot of things in marketing, it depends, but think about your audience and what you're trying to achieve. Sorry for just hijacking and hopping in, but that's
no, it's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Next question. Martin was looking for clarification on the subscribers. So let's say I have someone subscribed to Messenger and Instagram. Do I count them as one subscriber for billing, or is it two?
Good question. Jonathan, do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, sorry. So the question was about does one IG subscriber count even? Yeah. So the answer is yeah. They will, even though it's the same person technically, they will count as two contacts. So even though it's like me, Jonathan Sennen, I interact with you, the business, on Messenger and on IG, I will be counted as two people within Manychat. We know that this is an issue, and we are working hard to develop a feature that allows you to merge contacts such that me, Jonathan Sennen, is just one person in Manychat. So A, you don't get billed twice, but B, we're able to power multi-channel communications within Flow Builder with Manychat itself. So for example, one day we'll be able to set a condition in Manychat and say, hey, send Jonathan the message on the channel that he prefers, right? And so you can send either a Messenger or an Instagram channel. So anyways, long way of answering your question. No, they'll be counted as two contacts for now, but we're working on that solution very soon.
Great, thank you. Next question from anonymous. I am working at an advertising agency in Turkey. If I want to use this feature in a project, am I able to use it with a local phone number or an existing phone number? I think that the question is about SMS texting.
About SMS texting. So if you want to use SMS with Instagram, you're going to have to enable it with Manychat, and we will assign you a phone number through our platform to use. So you can't use an existing phone number, if that answers your question about SMS.
Next question is from Martin. I use Janice. Can that template work on Instagram? It works off of default reply for Facebook. And I believe, Martin, please confirm in the chat, I believe Janice is an AI tool that allows you to create a template or something. Maybe, Martin, can you confirm for us? And then we'll come back to that question. Ruheen said, just to follow up, are we able to send out a sponsored message on Messenger once they become an IG subscriber? The answer is no, because they are seen as different, correct, Joyce?
Yeah, so if they're only subscribed through Instagram, you will not be able to send a Messenger broadcast to them.
Stuart, can we use smart delays in Instagram?
Yes, you can. You can use smart delays in Instagram. So you can add it as a step between your messages, just as you would in Messenger.
Great. And coming back to Martin's Janice, he said it's a template in Manychat right now. It links to Dialogflow. I think Dialogflow is another company, right? It's not an app that we have.
Yeah, so I don't have an answer for if Janice AI actually works with it, but I am taking a note of this and can, we can answer this next time. Sorry about that.
Great, thank you. All right. Another anonymous person says, we have plans to integrate a chatbot for use on patient-oriented Instagram page of a pharmaceutical company. However, we only want to answer their questions with a chatbot. In no way we must basically can't access their information such as name, surname, and chatbot panels. Can you hide this type of information, such as name and personal information?
I believe right now in Manychat you cannot.
Awesome. I haven't heard of it either.
Yeah, no, I believe you cannot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stuart has requested, so curious about the limit of number of quick replies since we can't use gallery cards. If we can use quick reply buttons, kind of like a gallery or a menu.
I'm so sorry, Cassandra. Could you repeat that again? I'm sorry. I'm having
Yeah,
some tech
that's
issues
okay.
here.
That's okay. The question is basically, is there a limit to the number of quick replies you can do? They're looking to see if they can use it similar to a menu or a gallery.
Yes, so you can use quick replies as you would in a menu. Use them as buttons in a menu here. So you can, if you're looking here, you can, if this were like a default reply, for example, you can use quick replies as buttons in the form of a menu. So you can, you know, add this, does that answer your question here? And then create different paths to your different messages.
I'll let Stuart answer that in the chat, and we'll come back if he has additional questions. All right. So
Okay.
Robin, if someone messaged you, let's say a year ago, and were added as a subscriber but never messaged again, and then they message you again now, do they get the welcome reply or not? So I think the answer is no, because we don't have a welcome message with Instagram. We only have default reply.
So we do have the default reply. So if a customer messages you, you can actually set that up to fire every time, or you know, set that setting. So
great, thank you. And then Stuart did clarify, he was asking for the number of quick reply buttons, like the number, like can you have 3, 5, 20, 100 for quick reply?
it looks like the answer is the limit is 11 quick replies.
Thank you, Jonathan.
11 quick reply buttons. Thank you.
All right. Next question is from Martin. Will we be able to use external requests and dynamic blocks? And Jonathan, if you have a response, you're welcome to come up on here too. There you go.
Oh yeah. So the answer is yes, we can use external requests, and that's a function that exists within Manychat Actions. And so all of the beautiful stuff in Flow Builder that usually expected in Messenger, like specifically all the actions are there as within Messenger. A dynamic block, I'm not sure what that refers to. If you could be a little bit more specific with dynamic block, unless Joyce, you know what that refers to, but the answer is yes for external requests.
Thank you. Next question we have is from Filippo. I hope I said that correctly. Is there a risk for Instagram blocks or anything? Let's say that someone manually messages you. Can you be blocked if you use the same feature too many times? AKA, is it safe? Am I going to have a problem? I have a huge audience, etc.
Sorry about that, guys. I froze up for just a second. So the question is there a risk that Instagram can block you if you send too many messages?
Correct.
Is that right? So no, I believe that we are a Facebook certified partner with Instagram automation. If this is a worry about being blocked by Instagram or Facebook, currently, no, it is safe.
Great. Next question is from Anonymous. Is it possible to set up automation for messages which directly comes from DM on Instagram?
So is it possible to set up automation for messages that come from DM on Instagram? So
I think keyword's the only one, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I think keyword is the only one for direct messaging automation, correct?
Yeah, so for direct messaging automation, actually, so keywords, yes, keywords is one way. You can also, if you go into, if you have a default reply set up, for example, when a customer just texts you anything, a default reply is also an automation that pops up as well.
Great. Another question we have is from an anonymous person. How would conversation starters work? This is with first visit to the bot, correct? And there's the second part to that, but I'll let you answer the first one.
So yes, conversation starters it works sort of like a menu for a customer. So you can set up here I can show you here. You can set up predefined questions for your customers here. So basically, this is how it'll pop up to a user. Here, you'll set up predefined questions, and then you'll set up an automated conversation tied to each of these responses. So really, you can build, a path for any one of these. You can answer commonly asked questions through this. You could have a customer support. So you have 4 predefined options here, and they show up sort of like a menu here for customers. Does that answer the question? Sorry, I'm not able to see the written questions in the Q&A, so I'm just going off of what I hear.
I think so, but I'm sure they'll let us know if they need clarification. The second part of that question is, if keywords are not used, will the default reply trigger be activated for that if they're not using the keywords?
If you do have the default reply enabled on your account, yes, so any message will fire that default reply, unless it's a keyword. If you do have a keyword set up and that keyword is sent to DMs, then it'll trigger the flow that's tied to the keyword.
Awesome. We have a question from YouTube from, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Errol. The question is, does the SMS feature work if I need to use it in India? And according to our one of our articles, we have it for United States, Canada, and the UK, but that's currently in beta. I don't see India. Do you have anything to add to that, Joyce?
No, so we currently only offer native SMS for UK, US, and Canada. For India, we currently do not natively support SMS.
Great. There was a question for, can we use GIFs on Instagram automation? And I believe that's a no because it's considered a video, correct?
Yes, I do believe we can use GIFs and images in IG. We cannot upload a video, but GIFs are allowed.
Great.
Oh, sorry. I don't think the GIFs are supported yet, but we are working on it. Unless, Joyce, you've tested it super recently. I don't know.
Actually, no, sorry about that. No, Jonathan, I think you might be right. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay. But we know GIFs are popular, obviously, because it's like a meme world in IG. So we know that it's a popular format. So we know we're trying to support it soon.
Awesome. All right. So another question. This one's more related to Facebook. Does a dormant subscriber who suddenly messages you get the welcome message?
If a dormant subscriber messages you out of the blue, do they get the message? Yes. If you have the default reply set up to fire off every time, they will get that message.
But not the welcome message, since that's only what happens when someone subscribes, correct? For Facebook, not Instagram.
Oh, I'm so sorry. For Facebook. So for Facebook, I'm so sorry. The question was for Facebook, does a welcome reply message off or send off every time?
For someone who has been a subscriber but only recently engages, do they get the welcome message or not?
So if they are already a subscriber and you have a conversation, then they will not get the welcome message, I believe.
Okay, I think let's see. I'm looking for a few others. Okay, this is a good one. Stuart also asks, we can get a link to a Facebook post. Can you get the link to an Instagram post that has a comments growth tool attached? I'm not. So
is the quite.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I entirely understand the question.
Yeah, I kind of think I understand. So the question about the link to the Facebook post where you can click on a link and it goes just to that post, you can do that with Instagram, but I'm not sure about the part about having it with a comment growth tool attached. If the comment growth tool is attached, you can still get the URL of that post, but I'm not sure what the question is in relation to the comment growth tool. So Stuart, if you could rephrase or provide more insight, we'd appreciate that. Let's see. I think the rest of these. Anonymous asks, the conversation only shows with first visit to bot. I believe they're asking about the welcome message, which doesn't exist for Instagram yet. It's just the default reply, and the default reply, depending upon how you set it up, if it's every time or once every 24 hours, that happens if they send you a message that your automation flows don't understand. So if that didn't cover your question, Anonymous, please do give us additional clarity. Danilo has asked, can I put URLs in my bot for Instagram automation?
Yes, you can. You can actually just copy and paste the link in there directly into your Instagram message.
Daniel is asking, is there going to be a welcome message for Instagram in the future?
I do not know the answer to if the welcome message will become available on Instagram, but you can use your default reply as a type of welcome message for new customers.
Awesome. Thank you, Anonymous, for clarifying. So the question I had asked earlier about will they only see this the one time was in relation to conversation starters, not the welcome message or the default reply. So conversation starters, do you only see this the first time someone visits your bot? They've never subscribed before, etc.
Yeah, so conversation starters are something a first-time user will see on your bot once they click through it. Unless they delete the conversation thread from their Instagram DMs, they're not going to see the conversation starters again.
Awesome. All right. Next question. Actually, oh yeah, that was just answered. Okay. All right. Another question is Manychat compatible to use with Zendesk?
Yes, I believe through Zapier we can use Zendesk, but we do not have a native integration with Zendesk.
And I'm going to put in the chat the URL for all the integrations that we do have. So it should be in the Zoom chat and it should now be in the YouTube chat. Awesome.
Thanks, Cassandra.
Okay. You bet. All right, let's see. Talked about that. Okay, I don't see any more questions in the Q&A that we haven't already addressed. I don't see any questions in any of the other chats. Awesome. Okay, so I think those are all the questions. We'll give you a few more seconds. Joyce, do you want to talk about the waitlist?
Yes. So I'm sorry. So for the waitlist, I know the number one question for you guys still on the waitlist is when is Instagram going to be available for me? This is completely up to Facebook, but it is coming soon and we will let you know. Were there any other specific questions, sorry, Cassandra, in the chat or in the QA about the waitlist that I'm missing?
You guys have a lot of questions.
Do you hear that?
I'm going to answer your question.
You know what? I think that's Jonathan trying to hop in. Yeah.
Maybe Cassandra's facing some other issues.
Sorry, I have Jonathan talking in my ear, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. So I'm going to mute myself so I can deal with that so I can talk to y'all.
Cool. Great. If there are no more questions, then I think we can end today. Good job, Joyce. Everyone thank Joyce in the chat. You did a great job, Joyce. Everyone give her some love in the chat, please. Stuart, will there be a few weeks heads up before IG goes live? Yes, you'll get some kind of like notification about when this is going live as soon as we can share news. So we'll definitely, of course, give as much information as we can.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone. Sorry, I was having some issues with my Zoom, and thank you, Jonathan and Cassandra, for taking over the Q&A part. Guys, we also I just wanted to flash a couple more things before you guys hop off. We do have Instagram Summit. If you guys are not signed up, please sign up. We've got some great speakers, some awesome comment around Instagram. Sign up at igsummit.com. And also at the end of this Zoom, you guys will get a feedback survey. So this really helps us, organize these, helps us learn what we can do for you guys in these office hours. So please use the feedback form to give us your feedback.
All right, everyone, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and close on out. For those of you that may be watching this on YouTube, there is a link in the description for you to register for our next one. We will have one more this month for office hours. And for all those who register, the replay will be sent out as soon as we have it available. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.